Welcome to the Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Josh Kimmel, Dave Campbell, and Justin Bowerly.
Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Josh. That's right. If you missed me for a while, I've been away on vacation, enjoying my time on Costa Rica. I'm having a great time, actually. But I'm back to talk fantasy football with you guys. We have, of course, our ranking show. We have just Justin with me. I'm sorry, just Justin. That's what we call him these days. No special guests, no cool guys, just me and Justin. We're back. So I haven't talked to him in about a week and a half. So I'm excited to talk to Justin. So let's bring him on in here right now. Let's go, Justin. What's going on, man?
Justin.
I mean, Justin.
Justin.
No, let me tell you. It's been a rough week and a half for me, at least. And I just want to take this time out to say thank you, Justin. Thank you, Sean. And thank you, Derek, for not only just keeping the show afloat, but listening to me complain nonstop on text. Not getting back to you guys because I had no cell service, because apparently hurricanes take out cell service as well. We had literally no cell service for the past 3 weeks. If you haven't noticed or known, I'm in Tampa and we got destroyed by Hurricane Milton. I've been without power for 8 nights, 7 days. And I do want to give a special thanks to these people: Jake Estes, at Mr. Jake, at Player Dirt Profile, Faith, at Bobby Finstalk, at Miami Clutch, Chris Koffler, Josh Wingate, Dave Campbell, Dave Lehigh, Chris Girardi. Those are all the people that actually checked in on me without me reaching out to them and offering help for whatever I need. Appreciate all you guys. A lot of you guys let me stay in your house for a little bit to get some AC. You guys brought me food. You guys were the best. So thank you so much. If you know anyone that was impacted by this, it was hard. It was rough. And please help your neighbors no matter where you live. I met a lot of neighbors I never knew existed. So anyway, let's get into the news.
Before Josh gets all teary-eyed here, let's look.
I'm starting to tear up because it's rough.
I can hear it in your voice. It's like, oh no, we gotta start talking about fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to injury news. Dude, I went back to like where I last saw injury news from Wednesday night, and we're 3 pages deep, so I'm gonna get through this as quickly as possible. Cooper Kupp logs a limited practice for his ankle injury. He might play this weekend. We don't know. Jordan Whittington, speaking of the Rams, shoulder injury. He was limited in practice on Wednesday. Zamir White officially limited Wednesday. Who cares about Zamir White at this point? I think that's Alexander Madison's show now in Las Vegas. You don't know. You've missed like almost 2 weeks of football. So Nick Chubb, his knee injury, he logged a practice and he is a work in progress. He's hoping to play this week against the Bengals, so we'll see what happens there. Those keeping track of Nick Chubb, because they have Jerome Ford, we hope Nick Chubb is a full participant this weekend.
He looked like it.
Yeah.
Did you see him squat in the school?
Oh God, he squats way too much. Josh Wingate, look who decided to show up.
I'm back, baby. You can't get rid of me. They thought a natural disaster could kill me. It's not happening. Sorry, guys. I'm back.
Marvin Harrison Jr. has a concussion, so he's still in protocol, but he did start practicing yesterday. Mike Evans did not practice yesterday. He has a leg injury. They got to go back to the next page. Why did they put the previous page all the way at the bottom? Okay. This is a challenge. Devon Achane, concussion. He did practice on Thursday. He's still in protocol. Dontavian Wicks has a shoulder injury. He did practice, so that's good signs there. Najee Harris was upgraded to a full participant on Thursday with his rib injury, so that's a good sign for him. Ramondre Stevenson was not seen at practice on Thursday with his foot injury, so that's not a great sign. Deontay Johnson is expected to be out this weekend, and rumors have it he might get traded. So
that's odd. Again, just signing with the team, like you just got there.
Yeah, he just got traded to the team, and now they're already looking at trading him again. James Cook did log a full practice yesterday. That's great since he missed Monday Night Football at the last second there. But Ray Davis was limited, so hopefully James Cook does come back. Jonathan Brooks did miss practice on Thursday. He's still progressing. I don't expect him to play this weekend, but he should hopefully be back soon in your lineup. Don Kincaid has a collarbone injury. He was limited yesterday. Okay. And final page here.
It's a lot of pages. What happened when I was out?
These are the important players here. Jaden Reed remains limited on Thursday. He has an ankle injury. Christian Watson has an ankle injury. He was limited. Tucker Kraft has a groin injury. He was limited. Jacoby Myers has an ankle injury. He did not practice on Thursday. He is questionable for this weekend, which will suck. Josh Downs was officially limited on Thursday with his toe injury. However, he did not practice at all last week and still came out and was wide receiver 1 for the Colts. Michael Pittman did practice in full on Thursday. He went from being on the IR to scoring the game-winning touchdown in the exact same week. So I would expect Pittman to play this weekend. Jonathan Taylor did not practice. I still expect him to be out this weekend and probably next weekend as well. So just keep that in mind. With Jonathan Taylor being out, Trey Sermon is back in limited fashion with a knee injury. He is not fantasy relevant. Big news here. Rashid Shaheed to miss the remainder of the season. He will be out for the next, I think I saw 4 to 6 months recovering from his meniscus surgery. So that sucks for him. Alec Pierce came down with a shoulder injury yesterday. He was sidelined at practice. Brian Robinson Jr. was limited at practice with a knee injury, but I think it is expected that he will play this weekend.
Yep.
Same thing with Noah Brown. He was upgraded to a full participant. Gabe Davis was limited on Thursday, but also I would be limited too. He had a huge game in London. He's still in London, so I would expect him to play. Same thing with Evan Ingram, still dealing with that hamstring injury. He logged a limited practice, but still scored 20 points last week, so we hope he does play. And I'm not even going to talk about any of the Titans players because none of them are relevant. So
there we go. It's a lot of injuries, and
that is a lot.
I got to watch football, the first games, with the 1:00 games last week at Dave's house, Dirtbag Dave. He used to be a host on the show, but I don't know where he is anymore. No, but we watched. So I was watching it and thinking, wow, like the NFL's finally picking up. Players are scoring. Fantasy football teams are finally thriving, but we're still missing some players to injury, like Malik Neighbors. We're expecting him to play this week finally. It's good to have everyone come back. It's just been a miserable year, in my opinion, with injuries, with star players, and with with Baker Mayfield, and I love Baker.
Yeah,
I've turned on, but when he's the quarterback one, it's kind of weird. It's weird, man. We were saying all offseason, like, oh, all these players aren't going to get injured, so Baker's not going to be up there. Well, no one's injured at the quarterback position, really, like the relevant ones. And he's number 1 or number 2, depending on your scoring, Lamar and Baker. Just a weird season. Like,
it is a very weird season. I don't know what's going on. I thought last year we had a lot of injuries, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, there's so many injuries specifically to the quarterback position, and now it's like the wide receiver and running backs are just dying, like all of them.
Yep.
And the tight ends have never shown up with the wide receivers dying. So I just
the wide receiver, the tight ends are like, what, am I supposed to be here today? Do I work here anymore? I
have to do more than block. Like, what is going on?
It's just
it's so bad.
But
and like,
we did. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say something, but that was projected points, not actual points. Yeah, Baker Mayfield's QB2, only 5 points behind Lamar Jackson in a standard scoring league.
Yep. So with that being said, we did do our weekly rankings. I did not rank last week due to obvious reasons. So I looked at my scores. I'm like, I got a 0. I'm the worst ranker last week. Yeah, I was, because I didn't rank anybody, but I did make my rankings today. And Justin did too. So we're going to talk about our rankings, each position, where we're like, you can look at our rankings, follow along with us, ousffpod.com, ousffpod.com. All of our rankings are updated. It even shows you the date we updated our rankings. So
Yeah.
mine are as fresh as 10/17, Justin's 10/17, Derek's 10/15, and Sean 10/17. And those can be updated throughout the rest of the day, tomorrow, even before the game. So keep posted if
We
you'd like.
usually do go back on Saturdays and Sundays and update them to remove injuries, to adjust for other injuries, moving players up and down. So that is something that we do keep track of throughout the weekend.
So I'm not going to tear apart Derek and Sean's ranking. Not even tear apart, just talk about them because they're not on the show, and it's unfair for them to not be able to defend their stance. So Justin, I'm just going to attack your rankings. It's been a while. Our first one, we're going to go to the quarterback position, and I'm looking right here. My quarterback one is our thumbnail man, Mr. Jordan, and that was nothing. I don't know if you picked that because of me. I don't know if you picked that because Jordan Love is so sexy. I
Nope.
don't know why you picked Jordan
I
Love.
did it specifically you. He does not have a great smile. He is not that. Yeah, no, I picked it because you have him at QB1, and that is the most glaring difference I think in all of our rankings. Because you have at QB1, I have him at QB5. Going up against Houston, they do have a tough defense. It is going to be a shootout. Everybody's expecting this to be like a 35-30 game, like 70 plus points being scored this weekend. I mean,
You're such a hater. So, okay. And I'm a big Jordan Love fan. I've become a bigger fan of him throughout, the season and last season. I didn't really buy him like, oh, why are people ranking him so high? Well, then he made me a believer. Like he's just a straight up baller. Ever since he's come back from injury, I think he's the quarterback 3, yes, behind Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield, putting up 31.2, then 17, then 26.6, averaging 24.9 points per game. Going up against Houston, where you expect them to score a lot of points, and they're going to need to score a lot of points. And we've seen when Jordan Love needs to turn it on, he could turn it on. That's what's so special about this Green Bay team overall. If you want to talk about the NFL sense, they can do both. Like they say, get a woman that could do both, right? Work out and then look sexy in a dress. Get a quarterback or a team that could do both. They can throw and score 40 points, or they can just give the ball to Josh Jacobs 32 times and win out on a banger. Like it doesn't matter the situation. This team is built to win. I think they're my favorites going into. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. This is my team. This is the team I think is going all the way, and I think it's going to be led with Jordan Love. If Jordan Love is healthy, this team has no limits. Now, you would say, Josh, aren't there limits? What you just because when Wicks was the new hotness, and I told you don't grab him because he can't catch. Christian Watson can't catch. I understand that. All right, they have flaws on their team. But when you target Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs is playing well, this team is just like think about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins with Joe Burrow. This team's outperforming them in every way possible. And maybe that's just my opinion, maybe because I haven't watched football in a week and a half. But what I see is a team that's unstoppable on offense. And I see another team with all those superstars that really can't get into a rhythm. And that's because of Jordan Love. He's just been super amazing. How could you hate him? Like, what do you hate him for? Why do you hate him?
it's not that I hate him. He's top 5 for me. It's just I like the guys that I have ranked above him. Jaden Daniels against the Panthers. That's an easy matchup for me. Lamar Jackson has been killing it all year. This is going to be a shootout game too, where he's going to have to not only run the ball but also pass the ball and get touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has AJ Brown and Devonta Smith back. He should have Goddard back. They still have Saquon. Like that's going to be a good game. He plays the Giants. Like I'm not worried about that. And then Josh Allen against Tennessee, who lost to Joe Flacco last week. Like I just like the 4 guys ahead of him more than I like him.
No, and you're right. But Jaden Daniels kind of scares me. I have him at quarterback too, so it's not like I'm too far off. But Jaden Daniels is playing Carolina, where will they need to score a bunch? Will they need to throw deep balls to Terry McLaurin and throw deep balls to Diami Brown? Or is this going to be a situation where they just get a lead, play defense? Andy Dalton has had his one moment of greatness where I told y'all, he's Andy Dalton. I tried to tell y'all that. And now they're without Deontay. Remember, you argued. You said he was good.
Hey,
all right, it is what it is. Yeah, you're like, oh, I've seen his prime years in Cincinnati. He was very good. You said
this is a long time. I want to remind you have Andy Dalton ranked the highest out of all of us. So
I do. But that's like way down. I'm not starting him. I'm not literally not starting him anywhere. I have him 24. Like he's my
20.
Okay,
you have him at 20.
I think I do. Oh, 20th. Okay, 20th.
Yeah,
Oh, and you have him 21st. Get out of here with that. You're trying to act like
you have him
I'm
the
10
highest.
spots higher than you. That's like saying, who do you have? What do we have differently? Lamar, you have Lamar at 2, and I have him at 3. Oh, I'm so low on Lamar. No,
Yeah, so
it,
you have him the lowest. I mean, you clearly hate Lamar Jackson. I
I
mean,
clearly hate Lamar Jackson.
clearly.
No, but back to Jordan Love. I made a trade for him specifically in Dynasty about 2 weeks ago. I traded Saquon Barkley straight up for Love in a super flex league, and I got trashed for it. Like I really did. Most people trashed me for it. Like you're trading the best player in fantasy. Do we forget Jordan Love just because he was hurt? I think that's what it is. He got hurt in week 1. It was a weird game in a different country that they've never been to. It was just a weird game overall. He got injured on the very last play of the game, missed 2 weeks. Malik Willis came in there. That offense looked totally different under Malik Willis. And people kind of forgot who Jordan Love was. I know that's silly, but in 2 weeks, you could forget a player. In 2 weeks, you could forget, oh, wait, that player was very good. And that happens. And Jordan Love has been phenomenal since he's been back. And I mean, no doubt about it. Jaden Daniels has been great as well. It's just, do you expect him to put up 30 points against Carolina? Will he need to? Will he need to force the ball down the field? I don't think he will.
No, but I think he could easily put up 20 to 25 points, as he has all season. He might not need to force it. He hasn't thrown for over 250. He's thrown for over 250 yards twice in his career so far. In both of those games, he has 2 touchdowns. I think 250 is an easy number to hit against the Panthers. And that's very, I mean, serviceable. That alone there is going to be 25 points, 26 points. I think his rushing upside over the rest of them also helps him out as well.
All right, I understand. I want to move on to another player.
Yep.
And guys, just want to let everyone know this is not even a structured stream. We're going off the top of our heads. I'm just throwing stuff at him. He has no idea who I'm about to talk about. You have Jalen Hurts ranked 3rd in your quarterback rankings, and I have him 7th. That's another big margin of difference here. Now, I want to know what you've seen in Jalen Hurts so far that makes you think he's up there and should be talked about as a top 5 quarterback in a week-by-week basis, because I'm not seeing it anymore. I know he had a good 21-point game last week, but is it going to be consistent enough? Now, I know he was missing A.J. Brown and then Devontae Smith, and now he's missing Goddard. I understand all that was happening. But, man, he has looked like a different quarterback this year, and he looks like a lesser quarterback, in my opinion. Why do you have him so high?
I think A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith coming back does help that offense. If you look at last week when A.J. Brown came back, he put up 22 points, and that was an easy 22 points in my opinion. Going up against the New York Giants defense, like, I'm not scared of that. Like, is anybody scared of the New York teams? Like, other than, like, the Jets defense is good, but like the Giants are completely different. With Malik Neighbors coming back, they're also going to have to score a lot of points, which is going to force Jalen Hurts to score a lot of points and throw the ball more and get more touchdowns. I think AJ Brown being in the second week back, that's going to push the ball down the field more. Devonta Smith, second week back, that's going to push the ball down more, push the ball down the field more. I just think this is going to be a pretty good game for Jalen Hurts. And it's not even so much just the defense is lacking. It's also the fact that Neighbors adds to Jalen Hurts' value, in my opinion, because they're going to be able to score more on the Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson's going to get open more because of Malik Neighbors being back. So I think Malik Neighbors is actually going to help this game fantasy points wise for everybody, because this, in theory, should be a pretty high scoring game as well.
Yeah, in theory, it should.
In
This
theory,
is
are all
like a good matchup.
BS rankings. So.
Yeah. But look at these awesome matchups. Just I'm gonna throw them out there. Like Baltimore at Tampa Bay, that's a fire matchup. You got San Francisco versus Kansas City, fire matchup. You have the Vikings versus the Lions, another fire matchup. This is a great week for football. I'm excited for this
Seahawks.
week. Yeah, Falcons Seahawks. That's going to be good as well.
Pretty good matchup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I'm excited for this week, and I'm excited to see how these.
Jaguars.
I'm not excited for that one bit. Not 1 second.
At 9:30 in the morning, like that seems like a great performance right there.
Yeah, stay in bed and not watch it. That's what I plan on doing. I was so hyped to watch football last night until I watched football last night. Remember I texted you guys
I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it. I straight up just didn't watch a single second of it. So
I thought I was the highest on Bo Nix, but I'm not. Dang it. I had him at 21. Sean had him at 20. Man, I don't even know what to be honest with you guys, I know Javonte Williams scored 2 touchdowns. That's about it.
I
Here's
love
something
all
odd.
of the Javonte Williams people coming out like, oh, I told you finally Javonte Williams is gonna be good. I'm like, one time in his 4-year career, like
Listen,
he's been good.
I think he's solid. I think he's a solid player. I just don't think he's the best. And I don't think Bo Nix is anything special either. The only thing that I learned about last night, the only thing that came away, the only takeaway from last night's game is Bo Nix is now tied for the shortest name in NFL history with Ty Law and a couple other people. That's all I learned on Sunday or Thursday night football. Get rid of these games. These games are awful. Nobody likes Thursday night football games. Thursday night football games are a drag.
This is the second most points Javonte Williams has scored in his career. The most points came against Kansas City his rookie season in week 13, where he scored 29.8 off of 1 touchdown.
Stop hating
But
on
yet
Jit.
he had
Stop
6
hating.
receptions and 102 rushing yards. So
I believe in Javonte Williams. He's a solid player. Solid player. All right. Let's move on to the running back position. This is my first glance at your ranking, so I'm kind of curious. Oh, something me and Dave talked about live
oh god.
on
Oh
Sunday.
no.
Remember
Oh no.
our ranking show a long time ago when we're like, why do you guys have Derrick Henry ranked in like the 20s? Like, that's silly. And we're like,
We all
our
did. We all
not,
did.
not all, not all, not me and Dave. Oh, you want to go back and listen? We're playing clips now of Justin Fields where he's on the bench, by the way. We're playing clips now.
Not for a good reason either. He is balling. And
We're playing clips.
that's
Can we go
garbage.
back to the running back ranking show where me and Dave said, you guys are effing stupid for having this guy not in your top 8. Derrick Henry has been so freaking good. You have him ranked higher than me this week. Look at me eating crow. Look at me being a fraud. So why do you like Derrick Henry so much in this matchup? I don't like him in this matchup whatsoever.
I don't know that I necessarily like him in this matchup. Look at me using like. It's just he's been so damn consistent this year so far, and he's become that like that. I think the Ravens offense, we didn't expect it to just be what it is. Like we knew it was going to be good, but they are actually utilizing Derrick Henry and getting the entire offense involved over the last 4 weeks. I think whether they're up or down, Derrick Henry can get usage in this offense specifically because once they go down, they don't need to play hero ball. Like Lamar Jackson doesn't have to play hero ball. They can still utilize the running game with the RPO offense, which is something the Titans never could. And I think they finally figured that out. So whether they're up or down, Derrick Henry is utilized. And this being a shootout, which we think is going to be another shootout with how much the Buccaneers score, I think Derrick Henry could be pretty useful on the ground to slow that shootout down just a little bit to keep that momentum going.
I would hope I would hope to say so. But I really, really think that Vita Vea is a big difference maker. We always talk about, because we're a fantasy show, right? We don't play IDP much. Most people don't play it, but Vita Vea is a big player in this league, and he doesn't get enough credit for what he does and what he brings to the Buccaneers defense. He shut down Saquon Barkley. I mean, let's be honest with you. Vita Vea is one of the most valuable players in the Buccaneers defense or the entire team. And he's been there, and he's not hurt, and he's fine. He's going to have to bottle up Derrick Henry, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think Vita Vea is going to take over the line of scrimmage, and hopefully when Hulk Hogan meets the Ultimate Warrior, that's these two players right here, Mega Power. No, that's actually Randy Savage. When they meet, it's just going to be like, boom, I'll put it in your perspective. Captain America's shield, Thor's hammer, boom, who's going to win this matchup?
Well, Captain America's shield won it, so.
You know what? I don't appreciate that. I think Thor is the Do you think this Red Scarlet girl could kill Thanos by herself? Because I don't think she could.
I think she could have if she had about 10 more seconds in Endgame.
I think the only person that could ever do it is Thor. He's a literal god. He could just kill anyone. He could destroy anyone. He's the only one that matters. He can kill anyone he wants. He beat the Hulk.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Who did? Thor?
Yes. He beat him, and then your boy from Jurassic Park shocked Thor, and then that's why Hulk won. Do you not remember this? You're the Marvel guy. You have all the Marvel podcasts. You watch all the Marvel shows. In Thor, when he got taken and put into the
Oh, and
thing,
Ragnarok.
he
Okay,
beat
okay,
Hulk,
okay,
but
okay,
then
okay, okay, okay.
Thor
All right.
killed. Thor's like, anyway, we're getting off topic here. I do like I do like Derrick Henry. He's going to get all the carries. That's why I have him up there at running back 8 this week. Just temper your expectations. The Buccaneers do kind of stop the run. They have given up 8 rushing touchdowns this year, which is the 4th most in the NFL. So they can give that up. But those were when Vita Vea was missing time. Vita Vea is back and healthy. He's a menace. He's great. I'm just saying, temper your expectation for Henry, but you're going to start him. Like, you're going to start him. So
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. I mean, we're talking about starters. Like, we're just talking about like who's going to be better than the other one. Talk to me about. I saw one on here that
oh, you want me to
J.K.
hit this one?
Dobbins. Like this one, I think for our team, like is the wildest. You have him at
Yeah.
12. I have him at 18. Sean has him at 37. I don't know why he's at 37, but that seems low to me. What do you? There's actually another one on this list that I finally found it. But talk to me about J.K. Dobbins in that offense against the Cardinals.
Talking about J.K. Dobbins. Well, look, this is ugly. Like, this is to me the ugliest ranking I have. And when I put him at 12, I'm thinking like, this is the worst. But do you really expect them to open up the playbook and let Justin Herbert throw for 30 times? Like, do we expect that? He just had 25 carries against the Denver Broncos. 25. I think he's fine, guys. I think we can count on his Achilles not popping. I think he's back to full health. And this is the J.K. Dobbins we wanted to see forever. Like, this is it. He scored 18.2 points last week. He's coming off of 2 single-digit games back in week 3 and 4. But other than that, he's been double digits. And matter of fact, he's been 20 plus the first 2 weeks, and then obviously the downfall, and then he came back. Like, why are we hating J.K. Dobbins when he is essentially the entire offense? Gus Edwards is not there anymore. Like, he's on IR. Who else are we gonna rely on? Some special teamer, Vidal? I know you're
Vidal.
I know you were big on this guy. I know you think
Just
he's a
traded
good
him
thing.
too. I
Him and
literally
Blake
traded
Corum.
him. Immediately scored 12 points. I don't care about Blake Corum.
That was your big thing. That was your big thing. No, but his snap share is up to 63% right now. You know, he's getting all the opportunities. He's getting 16 carries a game. His target share isn't really there. You want more. You want more of a target share from a top 12 running back. I get that. He's only averaging 2.5 targets a game. That's not great. It really isn't. But when you think about his rushing yardage, he's 6th in the league in rushing. He's up there. That's a Jim Harbaugh offense. And against Arizona, who's just a middle of the road bum ass team, which I don't think that they're going to have to outscore Kyler Murray. I mean, he's been a total bust this year, him and Marvin Harrison. I don't think they're going to have to outscore anyone. So it's going to be more about ball control. And I think that J.K. Dobbins does get into the end zone, and that's all you really need to get into the top 12, especially with the workload. So, yeah, J.K. Dobbins, I think some of you guys are too low on him. But either way, he can go both. Like, do you see Justin Herbert taking over and scoring 4 touchdowns?
No, not anymore. Not at this point. Not in that offense. If they had an offensive-minded coach that like that wasn't Jim Harbaugh, like actually threw the ball in today's NFL, then yeah, sure. But I don't think he's gonna do that anymore. So
I mean, I think 37 is wild, and that's what Sean wants to do, and that's okay. He could possibly be right, but I think for J.K. Dobbins to be running back 37 this week, he has to get hurt, and I don't count on injuries.
yeah,
I don't. I'm not going to base my rankings off of injuries.
I
Who's the
have
next
I
player?
have I have another question for you. Tell me if this is a starting running back based off this criteria, and I'm not going to tell you the name. You can figure it out for yourself. I will tell you the name eventually. He consistently gets 5 or 6 targets per game. He has scored double-digit points in every week except for 2 weeks where he played elite defenses in one of those elite defensive lines, and one of those he got injured in. He's coming off of a bye week and has to play a team that just lost their star defensive player on the defensive line. Are you going to start that player this week, or are you sitting him?
Are we talking? Hold on. Let me look at this list and let me see who I have lower than you. James Cook could be in play. I think is it James Cook?
It's not James Cook.
Okay. Who else is in play here? It's got to be someone.
You're gonna have to go down pretty far on your rankings here.
Oh wow! You have them. Well, I'm going down far. I don't see any difference between these players. Tell
Aaron
me.
Jones, you have him
Aaron
ranked
Jones.
51. We have most of us have him ranked at 26.
Okay.
Sean has him ranked at 7, but
Okay.
he's going up against a Detroit Lions line that just lost Aiden Hutchinson, so there's a huge pressure off that. He scores double-digit points. He gets a lot of targets.
He's someone I'm going to adjust. If he's
Okay.
playing this week, I'm going to move him up.
Okay.
I have heard from the grapevines that he's possibly not going to play.
That's fair.
So, and that's why I have him low. If he's playing, he's going to go up big time. He's going to be passing Nick Chubb. He'll be in the 20 to 24 range for sure if he plays. But right now, I'm uncertain. If I roster Aaron Jones in any league, I take him out. I've already taken him out because I don't want to be rushing on Sunday to, he's out. There's a reason why they traded for Cam Akers. There's a reason why things are happening. I do think there's a possibility he misses this game. That's all. That's why.
There you go. That's fair. See,
I
always rank people to where if they're going to start, that's where I think this is how their production value is going to be if they start. And then if they are out, then I just click that X and it takes them out of the ranking.
Yeah. So, I just don't want to go in and fix my mistakes. Like, I have him this high, and he's not playing. Oh, I'm a prepare for the worst, and then if it gets better, then I fix it. You're a prepare for the best, and if it gets worse, you fix it. It's just different. I talked about who do I have on before the hurricane? I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, Joe. I believe his name was. Joe. He's awesome. I talked about his ranking process and how he goes through things, and we all have different. That's a good question, Justin, because we all have situations on why do you have this player ranked this place or this place. That's just why. So when you see Josh's rankings, it's exactly why. Josh Jacobs, we have him at 13, and I'm only bouncing him real quick because I saw Sean had him at 4. Is he thinking that Jordan Love's just not going to throw the ball at all and they're just going to run the ball down their throats? Is that his? Sean, chat, hit me in the chat. I need to know. Do I need to go trade for Josh Jacobs this week? Because I would love to see a huge Josh Jacobs week. Who else we got different over here? Man, there's not really much difference in the running back game. There really isn't. I'm really afraid of Achane, though. I ranked him high because I think he's going to play. I do think he's going to play.
See, that's how I rank. But
I think he's going to play. Though.
Yeah.
But I don't think Jones is going to play. Why are you questioning me on that?
No, my shirt's doing this weird thing where you can...
Hey guys, this is this part of the show where we just talk about our shirts. Yeah, my shirts.
I did. We want to move to wide receivers.
Of course, let's move to wide receivers.
So here's a comment from Josh Wingate. When do we get to Josh being wrong about Scary Terry because he's ranked as wide receiver 10 this week on your rankings?
Listen,
hold up.
I'm still the lowest on him. By the way, I'm still the lowest on him out of all of us.
I just realized where my ranking was on him. I didn't remember him being that high. So
you think that they're going to score 50 points on Carolina? That's fine. It is what it is. But I was wrong on Terry McLaurin. Ever since I said that about Terry McLaurin, and guys, I had 3 years of him just being a bum. Well, he didn't have a quarterback. Well, neither did Justin Jefferson. A lot of players don't have quarterbacks, right? You can't blame that. Terry McLaurin just wasn't producing. He has been so freaking good, and it's driving me bananas. It's making me hurt. I want to root for him, and I want him to be awesome because I want every fantasy player to be awesome, except for anyone on the Bills. He's been good. But guys, can we chill out with the Josh was wrong? He was wide receiver 5 last week, 23.3 points. That's his only wide receiver 1 start all season. He hasn't been a wide receiver 1 ever, except for last week. You can tell me about his week 3 20-point game. Cool. Still wasn't wide receiver 1. You can tell me about his week 4 18.2 against Arizona. Still cool. Was not a wide receiver 1. That's what I'm talking about with Terry McLaurin. He's just he could be 42 or he could be 14. And I don't feel comfortable starting him in my lineups. And even with Jaden Daniels, I still don't feel comfortable starting him in my lineups. Now we're starting to see him get more comfortable. We're starting to see him make these deep catches. We're starting to see him make plays. But again, I'm not buying into it as much, but he is my wide receiver 10 this week.
Yeah, I did just move him down to 10. I had to adjust my top 10 rankings there, but he scored double-digit points the last 4 weeks against some fairly, 3 bad teams, but his most the most points he scored in a game was against Baltimore last week, which we considered to be a good team. And they've played Cincinnati, Arizona, Cleveland, and Baltimore the last 4 weeks. Now they got Carolina and then Chicago, then the Giants. Like, that's looking good. Like, Terry McLaurin's stock should be rising. Wide receiver 11 so far in the rankings. We both have him at 10 now. Yeah, I've got him at 10 now. So I don't hate it. I would start Terry McLaurin if I have him, just because of how many points he's scoring. I'd rather take that floor of 9 points this season than miss
All
out
I'm
on him.
saying is 4 out of the 6 games have been under 55 yards receiving. That's a big chunk.
Yeah.
He scored 2 touchdowns last week. But he only caught for 53 yards. So let's keep that in perspective. Where a big touchdown regression, touchdown is a luck factor. I mean, touchdowns are skill. Of course, they're skill. Like, we know Big Mike Evans is gonna score 10 touchdowns. At a certain point, we knew Adam Thielen was gonna score 10 touchdowns a year. McLaurin's never been a touchdown scorer, or at least consistently, where he's like, oh yeah, he's a double. DJ Moore, a guy who's going to score you 4 to 6 touchdowns, never that double digit range. So Terry McLaurin's a guy, looks like he's needing touchdowns to succeed, which is fine, right? Sam Laporta, he lived off that last year. Sam Laporta lived off of touchdown dependency last year. Raheem Mostert did as well last year. So maybe Terry McLaurin's going to be depending on these touchdowns to make him a bigger star. In those weeks where he scored 20 points, there was touchdown weeks. The weeks he didn't score touchdowns, wide receiver 78, wide receiver 42, wide receiver 28. So is this a situation where he needs to score a touchdown for you to be fantasy relevant? I hope not. I just feel more comfortable with the guys getting the volume, getting the 10 catches. He's got 10 he had 10 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets.
He's getting the targets. It's just
right. He's getting the targets, it's not the catches, because he's got a lot of deep throws. He's number 5 in the air yardage. Like, he's getting deep balls. I just feel more comfortable with the volume players. Like, I'd much rather have a Zay Flowers on my team. Much rather have a Zay Flowers, because he's going to get 7 catches. Now, will it go for 50-something yards? Sure. That's still 12 points. Better than 6 catches for 22, or 2 catches for 17, or 4 catches for 112 that only scores you 13 points. I mean, yeah, that's great, 13 points. But Zay Flowers still has that touchdown opportunity. I'm just saying I prefer volume players when I draft and when I play fantasy football. 14-team. Sorry, I'm just reading.
Yeah, we got a question here. 14-team league. Somebody dropped Dak. Do I pick him up? I only have got Darnold. So
yes,
Dak is not playing this week. So people probably won't try to pick him up this week, and that's probably why they dropped him. Because they needed that extra spot.
Yes,
getting a quarterback in a 14-team league is difficult. I would pick him up.
Yep, I would pick him up 1,000%.
Dak, only have Darnold.
Dak he's definitely an upgrade, and someone that gives you that high floor, high potential. I think the wide receiver position. Do you have any other guys that you want to throw out there that we're because we only talked?
We just talked about Terry because of Josh Wingate. So Deontay Johnson's an interesting one. We both have him ranked top 12 right now, but I think just took him out of my rankings because he's not expected to play this week. So that's a non-factor that boosts.
Gonna have to fix that.
Tyreek Hill. Who would have thought?
I got him so low. Like, I have Tyreek.
Yeah.
Am I the lowest? The lowest? Yeah. Yep. As a Dolphins fan, as a Dolphins supporter, I just don't see it happening. I have Waddle even lower. I have Waddle at 42. I have zero expectations for this Miami Dolphins team until Tua comes back. I don't even want to put them in my lineups. Matter of fact, I don't start Waddle and Tyreek anywhere unless I absolutely have to. It's sad. Like, it's sad at this point. I'd rather start Jordan Addison over Tyreek Hill, and it's in my rankings, and it's sad. It's sad. Like, why Tyler Huntley is not a. It makes me so mad that Joe Flacco can come in and make players relevant. That Andy Dalton can come in for a week and a half and make players relevant. That any backup quarterback we've seen this season come in from the Saints last week, he made players relevant. The Dolphins, they just said, "Oh, F it. we have an injury-prone quarterback who his brain is going to turn into stew at one point, but we don't need a backup quarterback. How unprofessional and how stupid and how incompetent of a franchise. It's just sad.
And the worst part here is that they have Tyreek Hill. It's not like they have no wide receivers to throw the ball to. They have one of the best wide receivers in the league, and they still can't get it done.
Yep. He's out of my lineup until further notice. He really
Yeah.
is.
I have benched Tyreek Hill.
You've benched Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
There's a player I want to talk about, and then we can move on.
There is one more player that I do want to talk about, but you go to yours first.
So, thank you to everyone, by the way, who filled in for me. I already thanked y'all in the chat. But Topher and you talking shit about, Davante Adams is the new number 1 in New York. Garrett Wilson is no longer going to be relevant, or he's this and he's that. And
I'm still waiting for that timestamp where I said that, by the way.
I just heard what I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
and it made me upset because I don't see this disconnect with Aaron Rodgers. I don't see it. And maybe I don't see it because I didn't have power, but I don't see it because from week 4 on, he's the wide receiver 3. For the season, he's the wide receiver 7. This guy's been so good. I don't understand why you guys are saying he's got no disconnect. He's this and that. He scored 24.7, 29.1. Yes, week 4, 7.1. But he's ahead of Chris Godwin, who's a wide receiver 1 right now in the past since week 4. He's ahead of your boy Josh Down. He's ahead of almost everyone besides Drake London and Jamar Chase since week 4. Where's the disconnect? And are we expecting Davante Adams to step in and take 20 targets a game? No, they're going to cover Davante Adams, and this is going to lead Garrett Wilson to be even more open because guess what, guys? He's younger, faster, stronger, and better than Davante Adams at this stage of the game. I'm sorry. You can argue with me, argue with a wall. Now, I went down this road with Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins, and I'm here to admit defeat on that one. But guess who's playing? Stephon Diggs is, not Nico Collins. So suck it. But I do believe the same situation is going to happen. I think Garrett Wilson's still going to be the alpha there. And that's why I have him ranked higher than you this week. I have him at 14. You have him at 21, I believe.
I haven't updated the rankings for the fact that he's on the Jets now.
Okay.
Same with what I think Amari Cooper has not been updated for the fact that he is on the Bills now and not the Cleveland Browns. Who is the other player I want to talk about? You have him at 29. I have him at 28. Consensusly wide receiver 29 for OUS. Against Tennessee with Josh Allen throwing in the ball. I think this is about to become Josh Allen's new favorite target. He's a deep ball guy as well, which we all know Josh Allen likes to throw deep balls. So I would expect Amari Cooper to be a top 15 wide receiver this week. So long as he plays the full repetition.
If he plays, I'm definitely going to move him up as well. I have him currently below a lot of players like Jamison Williams, Darnell Mooney, JSN even, that I think that he should go above if Cooper plays a full snap share and a route tree and everything that's involved in it. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. I'm still old school where it's like players don't get traded midseason in the NFL. And even if they do get traded, these playbooks are so complicated that their minds can't comprehend a simple route. But that's not the way it is anymore. We see players get traded and they're superstars the very next week. I'm still not there yet with my mentality. I still think they need time to learn a playbook. Apparently they don't. Just run straight and we'll throw you the ball, apparently. So hopefully if Mark Cooper plays, he's definitely moving up in my rankings as well. For sure. But I'm going to miss the Khalil Shakir season. That small 10-point window I used to get from him. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. I'm just hoping this opens up Dalton Kincaid. Like, that's all I'm open for.
Real, like, it has to do something.
Because I don't roster Cooper anywhere, but I do.
Dalton's got to figure it out at some point, I feel like has to figure it out.
Yeah, we got people in the chat saying they don't trust Cooper because he's got too many drop balls. That's true, man. Like, it's true. But different situation, happier place. Maybe he wanted out. We don't know the situation. We don't know if he was happy. We don't know if he meshed with Watson. We don't even know if they got along. Like, what, so what if he goes to Buffalo and he becomes BFFs with Josh Allen? They're having breakfast every morning. He's getting 15 targets a game. We don't know. There's a reason why they traded for him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh Wingate says Cooper's a wide receiver room cancer.
He's still just salty that the Bills or the Browns got more out of their trade value for him than the Cowboys did.
Are we still sticking on wide receivers?
We can move on to the tight ends and talk about all of the good ones.
Are there any good ones?
And the show's over.
Yeah. Hope you like the show. No, I do want to talk about Evan Ingram real quick. He was dropped in one of my main leagues, and I spent $56 fab on him, and I would have spent more if I had more.
God, I cannot quit Evan Ingram.
And
I don't care.
And I got him for $56, and I have him ranked 3 right now. You have him 1. So I'm not hating on your 1 at all. I'm not going to tell you that all, but I had Bowers at 1 until further notice. We have Kelsey, and we literally don't have much different at the tight end position at all this week. And it's because they're so boring and because they're so missionary and not fun to watch. If you have Bowers, Kittle, McBride, Ingram, congrats. If you have Laporta, Kelsey, Kincaid, Pitts, Kraft.
Sorry.
Not sorry. It's just you hope they do something.
Yeah.
And if you're still holding on to Mark Andrews, you're dead in the water. Like
he's got 2 actually decent weeks in a row. Mark Andrews might be back.
He's not back.
Mark Andrews might be back.
2 catches last week? Was it 2 catches?
No.
Are you sure? I
No.
didn't.
He had 3 catches.
Oh!
He was targeted 4 times. He had a touchdown. He had scored 9.5 in 15.6 last week.
He's back. Let's go.
He might be back.
Fire up Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Guys, we're not going to waste our time talking about tight ends. You can look at all of our rankings on OUSFFpod.com. That's OUSFFPOD.com. We're going to take some time out right now and answer all these questions in the chat because we do have some. Cap for Life, I see you. Josh, I'm ignoring your stuff. And Byron, I see you. So, Justin, pop up the one you want first.
Need to. Jacobs, Achane, or Leggett. Achane has a concussion, so he might not play. So, Jacobs and Leggett for me. And no Deontay Johnson this week.
Yeah, if it's no Deontay, so it is no Deontay. If Achane plays, I'm still starting Achane because he just needs 1 play to bust it. I'm starting Jacobs no matter what. So if Achane plays, I play him. If he does not play, I play Leggett. Legit.
Yep. Let's see. There's not actually that many questions. Sermon, Goodson, Gibson, or Tracy. I'm assuming you only get to play 1. Do not start Sermon. In fact, drop Sermon. I will tell you that. Goodson is the RB2 in Indianapolis. He might not get the workload, but he is more effective with the ball. However, between Gibson and Tracy, and honestly, it's Tracy. Like Tyrone Tracy is I think the answer. I don't even know if is Singletary back. Like,
yeah, Tracy looks like the answer to me. I got him ranked 25th overall. I think he's highest out of all those guys. Just go to our ranking page if for questions like that, OUSFFpod.com. It's all there. And I do have Tracy ranked higher than all 3 of those other guys.
Yeah, I agree. Tracy was limited in practice yesterday. We're waiting. He's been limited all week with his injury. And that's a groin injury. Again, that could be missing. He's missed 2 weeks already. He could miss a 3rd week. Yeah, I don't know that I would go Tracy because even if Singletary does come back, like he's not going to get the workload. Tracy's almost taking that backfield away. So,
yep. So that's we got one more. Darnold or Kirk?
Kirk plays the Seahawks. Darnold plays the Lions. I almost want to say go Kirk.
I got Kirk 10th, and I have Darnold. Still scrolling down.
Way down there. Yeah.
Still scrolling down. Do I even have Darnold? 11th. I must have missed out. 11th. So they're right next to each other. That's why I kept on scrolling because I didn't think I had them that high. Yep, I have Darnold 11th, Cousins 10th. I go Cousins. It seems like Cousins Cousins each week is getting better and better and better and better. And he's going to continue to get better and better and better and better. So Captain Kirk all day.
Yep.
All right, that's it, man. There's no more questions in the chat. Josh Wingate, I was just messing with you. You're one of my homies. He checked in on me probably the most out of anyone I thanked at the very beginning. That's it, man. We're going to get on out of here. See if I know the right button this time. Oh, there we go. I hit it. I hit the right button. Thank you all for watching. This has been a crazy show, crazy week, crazy everything. It's going to be a crazy week 7 as well. I hope all of your fantasy teams win. I hope all of your 0-6 teams win. So you're 1-6 at least, right? I'm still hoping for a team to get a win. Justin, are you 0-6 in any teams? Any leagues?
No, unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, he's not 0-6.
There's a league that I'm trying to not win games in, and I unfortunately won last week. So,
man, make sure you follow us on socials. OUSFFPOD everywhere. Again, Justin, it's been so awesome to be back. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get out of here. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. Follow on X and Instagram at OUSFFPOD. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.